the first thing we're going to look at for trig applications is you need to draw a right triangle. When you're stuck, draw a triangle. Even when you're not stuck, always draw a right triangle. You can draw it any way you want, it doesn't matter. But once you've drawn it, then you have to label it with the information that's given to you. Okay, so make sure you're drawing triangles in the right triangles. A little bit of vocab to start. We have angle of elevation or inclination. Now that's all based on the horizontal or the horizon. So you need to make sure you draw the dashed horizon or horizontal. Okay. Yep. Really? Start drawing, start writing. You can also print this off tonight, Jason, from the internet, right? Because I posted up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So once you draw the dashed line out front, it's just like your eyes looking at the horizon, the beautiful sunset, it's straight across. If you're looking up, we call that the angle of elevation. Or inclination. And the root word of inclination is incline. So you're looking up at an incline. Okay. But sometimes you get depressed. And you're depressed and really sad. Where do you look? Down. So this is the angle of depression. He's about to cry. He's looking down, just like at the dance. When you ask the girl to dance, she says no. She starts crying. Yeah, just bring up memories. Okay. So, angle of depression is down, you're sad. Elevation, you're excited, you're looking up. Any questions? Let's move on. 20-meter tree casts a 47-meter shadow. So we underline that. What's the angle of elevation of the sun? Now, just to let you know, please find your shadow right now. Where did you find it? Harbier, have a look. Find your shadow. Find your shadow, Gagan. It's not on the screen. Where's your shadow? On the floor or the ground. No, it's not at Jason. Jason, it's okay. It's on the ground. So the dimension for the shadow must always go on the ground, not in the air, on the ground. So basically we have a diagram with a simple triangle in it, and we want to find the angle elevation right here. So label your HOA, H, O, and A. Which trig ratio should we use? 10. So 10A equals opposite over adjacent, 20 over 47. A equals inverse 10 because we have to move it to the other side. And then the fraction is more or less a division question. Make sure you put brackets around it. Okay, go ahead, do the work. If you need a calculator, come on up. Jason, you need a calculator? I got 23 degrees, is that right? Yeah. Okay, 23 degrees. Simple word sentence, you should say angle of elevation is 23 degrees. Then you'll know that you answered the question. Okay, that's just a double check, right? Makes you look at the question, reread the sentence, did you answer it right? Do keep it simple and short and sweet. Okay. Was that hard? No, it wasn't that bad. Next one, the kite. This is a classic. So here's Johnny. He's holding the kite string. The kite's up in the air, flying around. Now one thing with it usually with these questions is we kind of assume that they're on the ground, okay? You don't have to add the person's height. So the kite string's 80 meters. Where should we put that? That's right, because here's the person, and so the kite's 80 meters away from him. That's where the string will go. Connects the kite to the person. Next, angle's 40 degrees. We should write that in there. What's the height? So where should we put our unknown? Right here, from the kite and to the kite and the ground. What should we call it? X, Y, anything you want. We'll call it X to keep it simple. Label your HOA, choose a ratio. Do the opposite of divide by 80. And then go to your calculator. And so our answer should be 51.4. Is that right? Okay. Short little sentence. Kite is 51.4 meters high. Good job with the units. Okay. Little box around it so it's easy to see. And you get awesome marks. Okay. Pardon?
Do you have to write the little sentence?
Yeah.
You know, like homework?
Yeah, you should. Like this is what, 3 words. You can do that. Okay. Okay. Next page. And that's going to get a little more complicated. So you're actually going to have to do a bit of thinking. Some are going to start out easy. Others are getting a little bit harder now. Please read the question. Underline the important numbers. Go. This one's a little bit more challenging. The man is 12 feet from the wall, so we can put 12 on our triangle right there. Our triangle of importance is right here. Okay. So the angle is 62 degrees. That can go there. It says the man's eye level is 6 feet above the ground. So let's mark that over here, because we know it's going to have something to do with our triangle. So we're going to put 6 feet over to the right. Then it says the woman's 5.2 feet down from the top of the roof. So here would be 5.2. Okay. So we want to find the height to the nearest 1/10 of a foot. So in order to find the height, we're missing the middle piece, aren't we? So this is what we need to find. We'll call it x. Okay, so go ahead, in your triangle, solve for x. Okay, so how do we find the height then of the building? Yep, Jasmine?
You would do 10 to 62 degrees, and then x over 12.
Good.
Over the 12 to get 80.
Opposite and adjacent. We label your HOA. We don't know anything about the hypotenuse, so we can't use sine or cos.
Can you multiply it by 12?
Perfect.
And then it equals 22.6.
Oh, don't round yet.
No?
No, because we're not done. Okay, so don't round to the end. So we 0.568. Okay.
And then you add 5.2 and 6.
Good. So then you're going to add the other dimensions to make sure you have the full height. Okay, because we're just finding the middle piece. We want to make sure we add the other pieces. And once it's on our calculator, it's easy. We just take the number and add the other ones. And then we get 33.76. Read the sentence. The height to the nearest 1/10 of a foot. So the building is 33.8 feet. Okay. Now that's not a good number. Why is that not such a good number for this question? Yeah, Hamza? Yeah, it's the feet, right? So we should probably convert that to inches, which we won't do. But when I made this question up, I should have said round to the nearest foot, right? Good. Any other questions? Okay, keep going then. Next one. Okay, so now we're getting even more complicated. A lighthouse 59 meters above the sea. Where would you find a lighthouse? Probably on a shore or on a cliff or something like that. And yes, definitely by the sea. Okay. So it's 59 meters above the sea. So we'll call this 59 meters right here. And out there's a boat. Okay. Now it says the angle of depression is 35. In order to mark this on the diagram, what do we have to draw first? Yeah, I'm doing it right now. What do we call this? Yeah, horizontal with horizon. Okay? So then what we can do is draw a line looking down at the ship. And there we have our triangle. Okay? So the angle of depression goes from the horizontal down. That's interesting because it's not really inside our triangle, is it? So we have a couple things we can look at. Number one, you can see that the angle of depression outside equals the inclination on the inside. And we don't do this in grade 9 anymore. We used to talk about parallel lines. If those are parallel lines, which they are, then those angles are the same. Okay? So that's one thing we could do. Or the other thing we could do is we could do mirror triangles. Okay? So we could drop a line down here, and now our triangles are mirror images of each other. So this is also 59 meters. That's probably the easiest for you guys because we don't do the parallel line rule anymore. Okay. So let's work in this mirror triangle. We want to know how far is the boat from the top of the lighthouse. So where should we put our letter X? Yeah, the hypotenuse right there. So looking at 35, X, and 59, which ratios should we use? Sine. So sine 35 degrees equals the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Okay, so go ahead and find out how far that boat is from the lighthouse. Okay, so boat is 102.9 meters away. Hands up, you got that? Okay, there's one other thing you can do, which I don't recommend, but I want to show it to you anyways, in case your mom or dad see this and freak out on me. If this is 35 degrees, this entire angle is 90 degrees. So this bottom angle is 90 minus 35, which equals 55. Then you can work in your bottom triangle. And they used to do that all the time. It's a little old school, so your parents might see it and say, how come you're not doing that? You're totally welcome to. Okay, there's 3 different ways. So you just pick one that you like. I think number 2 is probably the easiest for you guys to get. Okay, so 3 is that you would do the 90 degrees minus. Okay, and that would get you inside your bottom triangle. Guys, okay? How many people like the mirror image triangle? How many people like to work with the depression and inclination? This one down below. How many people have no opinion? Yeah. It's funny, even if you have no opinion, put up your hand. Okay. Would you say, Katie? What if nothing? What if nothing? That's a good philosophical question. What if nothing? That's like answering, why? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why
That's
not?
like when the philosophy
Why not?
teacher picks up a chair.
Why
puts it
not?
down and says, "Why is
Why
this
not?
chair?" Everyone goes,
Why not? 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 Okay, let's get going. You win. Okay. So we're talking. Sometimes we'll give compass questions like east and due south. Due south. What does due mean? Do it? No. It means that the person turned to 90 degrees. Okay. So north up top. What goes down below? Good. And we. W-E. So north south. We. Or never eat soggy wheat. Yeah, good. I just don't like saying it because you guys look at me weird. Hey, any questions? This question, for a ship, make a dot. Put your pencil down. Make a dot. Make a dot. Did you make a dot? Then travels east, 52. That's this direction, 52. Due south. Due south means 90 degrees down. That's for 76. Then the question is, what's the angle from the path, right here, back to port? Port is where we left. So we want to know this angle theta, or capital X, whatever you like to call it. But don't call it little x, because that's wrong. Make sure it's a capital letter. Go ahead, solve it. Go. Okay, you can't talk and write at the same time. In Harbier, in order to write, you need to look at your page. Oh, it's, but we're finding an angle, not a side length. If you want to know the distance, then Pythagoras. 34 degrees.
I have a question.
Yep.
If you were calculating the ship, wouldn't you not round the angle? Wouldn't you actually use like the decimals in the angle?
Yeah.
So you're sure that you're gonna end up with.
That would be a good thing, because the ocean's big and wonderful, but a little scary. Good. Okay, any questions about this? You have to... Shh. What 2 things should you do to help you solve this question? That's a given, but for this specific question, actually draw that thing out so you don't screw it up. Hamza, Simmerpreet, what's the second thing you should do? Start with a dot, because I find you guys are all confused. Start with a point on a piece of paper, and then it's foolproof, somewhat. Okay? Thank you. Yes?
you rounded your angle? Because doesn't it come out at
I got
34.73, so shouldn't it round up more?
I got 34.38. You might have had one of your numbers off when you put them in. It sounds like you're like one digit off
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Example 6. Draw the diagram. Okay, I hope you drew a rectangle. Jason, rectangle. So then for a diagonal, you have to make a line go all the way across. Good. So I guess we should put 75 here and 65 there then? Huh? Why? What do you mean? Why is that wrong, Ishwar? Why is it wrong? Yeah. Is this longer than 65?
No.
Yeah. So please look at your diagram and put the longest side on the longest side. Okay. What's the smallest acute angle? Well, you know what? I think it's this one, so I'm going to call that theta and solve for theta. If you think it's the bottom one, you solve for beta with a B. Go. Why don't you do the work and then we'll find out? No, I don't mean that challengingly. I mean, do your work, which one you think it is, and we'll find out. That sounded bad. I don't know which one I found now. I think it's that one. $41 degrees. Good. So which one's smaller? Beta. Now, did I have to do this work or did I do way too much? Way too much. So if you look at the diagram, beta looks smaller, does it not?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're unsure, what could you do? Okay. Do a little subtraction. That way you'll know for sure you found the smallest one. And if you didn't, well then you can now say you found the smallest one. So I always encourage you, find both and get the thing right. Okay? If you find both, circle the smallest one, we're good. Okay? So just be aware of that. Any questions?